Lauren, and I'm back again with another video. I'm kind of continuing the oops, should have done this haul video earlier haul video. This time we're looking at all the books that I got kind of late October, November, and so far in December. We're just halfway through December. I'm not counting these, there's too many. I'm a little bit intimidated by this stack and I hope it doesn't fall down. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of do this in order. It might not be exactly in order which I purchased, but there'll be themes, I guess. I don't know how to word it. First off, I guess I'll just go over the books that I got for our, like, anniversary trip thing. I don't know what to call it. We had a lot of fun with that. It was kind of weird. We just kind of go through there's a bookstore we like to go to. It's not a used bookstore. It's not super local. It's actually a little bit out of the way. But they're nice because we can get free parking. And there's my favorite game store nearby, and there's ice cream nearby and udon nearby that we really like. So, but yeah, we bought a lot. I usually pick out more fantasy reads because I'm very into fantasy. But this time I picked out more sci-fi, and I'm really surprised about that. Alright, first thing first. This is Fuzz by Mary Roach. Mary Roach is pretty well known, I think, if you read nonfiction. I want to read more nonfiction that's interesting, not boring stuff. But apparently this is about the weird ways that animals break our silly human laws, kind of thing. Very shenanigan-y type things. So that sounds very funny and interesting to me. Also, the author has put out quite a few books in this kind of similar funny nature, and that sounds very appealing to me, and people have said really good things about her. So yeah, I'm really excited to read that. This next one I got is a horror novel, which is something I don't pick up very often. I've been wanting to branch out a little bit. I don't know, just cause I don't want to like write off a whole genre just because preconceived notions is not a good word to say. And I haven't heard anything about this, but I did see a few reviews that made me amused and want to read this, and the synopsis sound good and all that stuff. And that is The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. Wendig? I don't know. And hey, bonus, it's signed. That's a really weird signature, but okay. It's signed though. I don't know much about what this is about, but it sounds like a haunted house type story. Like some people move into a house that they used to live in or something like that. Ah, spooky, spooky. And they have a secret weapon in the battle, their love for one another. Ooh. The reviews that made me kind of want to get it was some reviews that were like, it's too woke or whatever, I don't know. People complaining about that kind of thing amuse me very much. Then I got a few Agatha Christie's. I'm trying to get them all. So the ones that I saw there, they just had a few random ones. So we have Evil Under the Sun, After the Funeral, and Cat Among the Pigeons. These are all Poirot mysteries. I'm not going to read the synopsis on them. I like going into these blind because I have read the synopsis a little bit and tell a lot, honestly. I specifically go after this particular edition. Well, either one of these kind of editions. These are slightly different editions. One has this little official authorized and the other one doesn't, but they're the same company puts them out. But I'm mentioning that because I've had a lot of trouble getting these particular editions. A lot of trouble, more trouble than I usually do with books. And there's just bootlegs around which are very annoying. The nice thing about getting stuff in a bookstore is you can immediately tell if it's a bootleg or not. These ones, you know that they're not bootleg because they have a matte finish. They don't have a crease type thing here, where a lot of self-published books have, and they don't have like a barcode or something on one of the end pages, like some of them, like the bootlegs that I've gotten. There's a few bootlegs that I've gotten as well that have very sharp edges. These do not have sharp edges. So if you're interested in looking into these versions, those are some things to keep in mind. Because I've got more than one bootleg of Poirot books. Okay, and then the rest of the books that I got from the bookstore anniversary stuff are all sci-fi. So yeah, I didn't get any fantasy, which is kind of weird for me. First off is Fugitive, Telemetry by Martha Wells, the newest Murderbot book in the series. Murderbot is awesome. He's a cool character, and so yeah, I want to get to reading this. And then I picked up Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I haven't read any of his other books yet, but I wanted to pick it up because I don't know, it sounds good and whatever. I've heard good things about it. Lost and spacey, and forgot why he's there. I don't really feel like reading the synopsis for this particular one, but heard good things, so I want to get to that too. I gotta stop saying that. I want to get to everything right away, but that's impossible. Then I picked up Green Earth by Kim Stanley Robinson, another author that I already have a book for and I haven't read yet, but whatever. Do what I want. I think this is actually a bind-up of 3 books. Yeah, it's a bind-up of 3 books in the same trilogy. Something about Earth and environmental stuff, I think. Kalanadi, I'm pretty sure, read this and liked it. And I like picking up things that she recommends. She recommends a lot of more obscure-y things that I don't hear about from other people as much. And blind purchase Goldilocks by Laura Lamb. Something about survival and going to other planets or something. I've never heard anyone talk about this. So I was just like, ooh, that's neat. And then this one is a new book. Also haven't heard anybody talk about it, but hey, what do you know? Or what can you do for stuff? Words. Then the last book I got from that trip was Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I'm not good with those kind of names. I'm not good with names. Let's read her. I've heard a lot of good things about the author. What does he do? He does Children of Time, or he does another series that people really like. I haven't heard anything about this one, but it is pretty new. So the next 3 books are some Book of the Month Club books that I picked up. Was The Collective by Alison Galen. I think this is a thriller. I think there's basically a cult or something. Then I got No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is like a stranded kind of thing in a snowstorm. Again, this is another thriller. I don't think it's a horror. I've heard good things about this one though. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, which I think this one's a horror. I think it's a haunted house type. It does sound interesting. It's kind of neat, the neon green on it though. It's almost looks like it should glow in the dark. So then I more recently went to it's not a thrift store, like a used book type store. And of course, what do you do at a used bookstore other than get some books? First off is The Hidden Staircase by Carolyn Keane. This is the second Nancy Drew book. They didn't have the first one. I've been kind of wanting to try out the Nancy Drew books because I've been wanting to. Mystery, pretty old school ones from the 80s or whatever, but this is a new reprint type thing. I like how they stuck with it might not be the first original book, but the older look that I'm used to. My mom had a bunch of these, and this is the look that I'm used to, so yay. This one's a pretty random one, and that is The Deep by Alma Katsu. I think this is a horror with a boat. Spooky ghosts or something. I don't remember if I've heard anything about this or not, but then they got a classic that I haven't read before, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Mocking is very hard to say for some reason. I know a lot of people read this in school, but we didn't. Or I didn't, I guess I should say. I moved around a lot, so it could have been that one school had it for one grade and they did different grades or something for when you read it, so I missed it. I don't know. I haven't read it. I know the themes are kind of like racism. I've been wanting to read it, and hey, this was a pretty nice copy of it, so yay. And then I found another Agatha Christie Poirot Then I found a Poirot in the edition that I like, that I didn't have yet, surprisingly actually, because this is a really well-known one, and that is Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, so Poirot murder mystery. It's on a train. Then this is kind of a random nonfiction that I've been looking at. This is The Genius of Birds by Jennifer Ackerman. It's about birds. I've heard good things. Haven't really read too much of the synopsis, but birds, I like birds. The last thing I got is kind of a weird pickup, I guess, because it's the latest book in the series and I'm not quite caught up yet, but it looked really nice condition-wise. So, and I do want to read through the series, so hey, why not? And that is Unlocked by Shannon Messenger. This is book 8.5 in the Keeper of Lost Cities series. It's 8.5 because I think there's this is a bunch of info about various things in the series, short stories type thing. I'm definitely not gonna look at the synopsis for this because I've only read the first one. Until purchasing this, I only owned the first one, so yeah. To move on to the next segment of things, I did purchase a few books just online because why not? So I picked up a few more Keeper of the Lost Cities books. So I got book 2, Exile, and book 3, Everblaze. Oh yeah, and it's like a middle grade fantasy type series. Going to another world type thing. Ooh, magic powers. Ooh, you're special main character. It's kind of like that sort of thing. I really enjoy it. Or at least the first one. Continuing on with some series that I didn't have more than the first book, I picked up the second and third book in the Last Dragon Chronicles by Krista Lacey. So I got the second one, Ice Fire, and the third one, Firestar. I originally wanted to get these in hardcover like I do with the first one, but they're really really hard to get. So I'm just going, whatever. These are middle grade-y type books. They work pretty well in paperback anyway, for me, for whatever reason. So I want to replace actually the first one that I have, which is hardcover, and get the paperback. But anyway, these are about these little clay dragons that are actually live and shenanigans. From what I remember, the first book is kind of a weird one because it doesn't really introduce the overall plot very well, in my opinion. This one's kind of a blind buy. I don't know too much about it, but the preview looked really cool. And this is Literary Wonderlands, a journey through the greatest fictional worlds ever created by Laura Miller. And this kind of goes through a bunch of classic fantasy and sci-fi, I think mostly, worlds, and talks about them. And it has a lot of pictures and stuff. I think this is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and it has lots of words and pictures. It's just a really interesting type of book that I wanted to check out. Then last month I kind of bought randomly for myself. I wanted to get some books for an author that I really like. We have Stolen Magic by Gail Carson Levine. I can't say her name. Her name or his name? I actually don't know. Her name. Fairest, and A Tale of Two Castles. Now going by the two that I have read, Ella Enchanted and Two Princesses of Vermeer, if these are in a similar vein, then they're probably going to be kind of fairy tale-esque. Not necessarily retellings, although Fairest kind of sounds like a somewhat retelling or spin-off from, what's it called, Snow White? Maybe? But, yeah, kind of fairy tale-esque, middle grade type things. And the last two books I have here, my husband got kind of randomly reward type thing because we've had some tough stuff to do with lately. So he's just like, here's some books, and I'm like, yay. That kind of stuff makes me happy. So one of them he gave me was The Santa Claus Murder by Mavis Doriel Hay. I've heard good things about this, and it's a murder mystery. I think it's a closed circle. So like they're stuck in a mansion, it's snowy, and oh no, there's a body. And then the other thing they got for me, and the last book I have to haul for this video, my god, I've been recording forever, is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This particular edition has some illustrations from Edward Gorey, who is an author slash illustrator that I really like. I like his style very much. Let's see if I can, I don't know if that shows up very well on camera. This is a really cool edition. It has this kind of velvety touch with the red, and like there's illustrations inside. They're not too intricate. I don't know. They're not too detailed or anything like that, but I mean, they're nice to have, and I like Edward Gorey, like I said. So, you know, they just have like a little character sometimes for a chapter. And I don't have a copy of Dracula, and I wanted to read it. Oh, but the coolest thing about this is the stenciled edges. They're like these bats, and they're a little bit different on the side here. It's not gonna pick up, I think, but some of the bigger ones have fangs on them. So these are really cool stenciled edges, and I don't normally care too much about stenciled or sprayed edges or beveled edges. I don't really like beveled edges, actually, but these stenciled edges are so cool. So more of this kind of stenciled. I can't speak. I like this. Don't normally like it on my books, but yes, very good. I'm a really big fan of this edition. That took a while. Hopefully I didn't yammer on too much. My throat is getting sore. I need beverage. So let's wrap this up. Let me know your thoughts on any of these. If you read them, picked up any books lately, let me know as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye.